The goal of this workout is to build strength in the shoulders and in the arms. It's designed because those two go together very, very well. So you can work out one part of the shoulder while the other one is resting, work out the bicep while the tricep is resting. Shoulders and arms are relatively small muscle groups, so you can work them together on the same day and not overtax that central nervous system. For today's shoulder movements, we're gonna start off with our strength portion first. While we're the strongest, we're next gonna move into our superset portions. We have 2 supersets, followed up with a little curveball at the end. Probably haven't done this exercise, but it's one of my favorites. After that, we're gonna knock out 2 supersets for biceps and triceps, keeping it short and sweet. This workout is designed to get each head of the deltoid worked, along with the bicep and tricep in under 45 minutes. For our first movement for the shoulders, we're gonna be doing our strength portion. So that's gonna be a dumbbell push press. This is gonna be 2 warm-up sets, and then we're gonna jump into it and do 4 working sets. We're gonna be sticking with the rep range of 6 to 8. If you know your max on a push press, whether it's dumbbell or a barbell, we're gonna be using percentages of that. So 60% for your first working, bumped up to 65, 70, and another set at 70. We are gonna be using a slight dip and push, so you wanna wear a belt if you have one. My pinkies are a little bit higher than my thumbs, and I never lock out completely at top here. Keeping the pinkies raised a little bit forces us to keep the weight from being locked out all the ways. All right, as we move up in weight, we wanna make sure we're using good form. And because this is a compound exercise, we're using our shoulder joint and our elbow joint. And we're also using some hip and knee flexion here as well. So make sure you're getting good form. This is an explosive movement. This is gonna be the most compound exercise we do today. So we're taking enough rest time in between to make sure we allow ourselves to recover before our next set. We're gonna stay here for the last set. This is about 70% of my 1 rep max on here. That is it for our first exercise for shoulders. Next up, we're gonna be doing a superset for that lateral head, along with a posterior delt exercise. So moving on, we now have a superset of a lateral raise with dumbbells and then a bent over reverse cable fly. I love doing these in superset fashions. We're gonna be doing about 10 reps on each of them, 1 warm-up set, and then 3 working sets. We don't wanna be elbows to the side here. We're actually gonna be doing wrists almost all the way straight down to the sides here. Tilting them in slightly, keeping those pinkies faced out as we raise the weight. I like doing these second in my routine because that first movement requires a lot of strength. So do that when I'm the most fresh. These are also important to do towards the beginning of the workout because they're a weak area for me. So you need to be constantly assessing your own physique for weaknesses and doing those closer to the front of the workout when you have more energy. You guys will notice, I try not to let the weight come in front of my body. Try keeping them out to the sides. That's gonna keep the tension on the lateral head of the deltoid. Right into our second movement. And bear in mind which arm you have in front, because the next time we'll want to switch that. You know, it's a good shoulder workout when you can't quite get the water up to drink it. This dumbbell lateral raise is done a little bit lighter than you might see or might be used to yourself. You see a lot of people doing the bent arm variation of lateral raises, and they're bouncing and they're swinging a little bit more. You know, those last 2 or 3 reps, if you need to swing it just a little to get it up, that's cheating to make it a little bit harder. We're not throwing our body into it. As you can see, hip failure on that last rep there. We got about 2-minute break, then we're gonna jump into our next superset. All right, moving on to our last superset for shoulders. We're gonna be doing a front raise. We're gonna be supersetting that with a modified upright row. We're gonna be a little bit wider focusing on really pulling from that posterior delt rather than closer using that anterior delt to get it up. So jumping into it, we got 3 sets, about 10 reps here. As you can see, I'm using a supinated grip, and as I raise it, about to eye level, I'm gonna finish it off just by pushing it away. Straight into our modified upright row. I'm gonna rotate my shoulders slightly forward. One of the very few exercises you ever rotate your shoulders forward. And as I pull up, I'm gonna try to come to about mid-chest. We wanna keep it away from our body at the beginning. So we wanna keep it about 4 inches at all times away from your legs. Just the opposite on the upright row. I'm trying to keep it as close to my body the whole way up as I can. Really focusing on that posterior part of the deltoid to raise the barbell. That is 5 things down for our shoulders. We got 1 thing left, I promise. It's gonna be intense, it's gonna be hard, but you're gonna be glad you did it. So this is the final thing we're gonna be doing for shoulders before we move into arms. So we can leave it all on the gym floor here with this movement. It's what I call a prison push-up. I'm gonna be dropping down, doing a push-up, popping up, doing a jumping jack. And you'll see I start off with 1 of each and then just work my way all the way up to 10. Instead of keeping your hands in a supinated position and clapping at the top, we're really externally rotating and trying to touch the back of our hands together. This prison push-up is gonna be just a great one to absolutely annihilate the shoulders. Also, it's gonna be super taxing on your cardiovascular system. You should be gassed at the end of it. You shouldn't be able to raise your arms at the end of it. Leaves our shoulders completely fatigued before we move on to the arm section. Oh. All right, that is it for shoulders. Hopefully they are completely annihilated after that last set of prison push-ups. Take about 5 minutes. We'll be moving on to biceps. All right, now comes the fun part of this workout, the arms. So we're gonna be doing a superset for our bicep and triceps. So the first exercise we're gonna be doing is an easy bar curl. We're gonna be doing 2 warm-up sets, and then we're gonna be doing 3 working sets. That'll be supersetted with a dumbbell skull crusher, 2 warm-up sets, 3 working sets, 6 to 8 reps. The big thing to remember on today's arm workout is to control the weight on the negative portion. So control cheating is something I like to tell people is something you really learn the more you're in the gym. What it is really is making the workout, you're able to extend your sets. A lot of people have a stronger tricep on one side. So this way you're able to make sure that you're doing the exact same weight, the exact same work with each arm. As soon as you lose the feel in the muscle, as soon as that has shifted, you're swinging so much, you're starting to feel your lower back come into it or your anterior delt really raise it, you're done with that set there. All right, that is it for superset number 1 here for arms. But we're gonna move it on to our second superset with a dip and then a dumbbell hammer curl. All right, we're now moving on to our second superset for arms, but make sure you stay focused and finish strong. We did biceps first in our last superset, so we're gonna be starting off with triceps. We're gonna be doing bench dips, 8 to 10 reps for 3 sets, supersetted with a seated hammer curl, 8 to 10 reps as well. I do them alternating. You can do them together if you want, but I really like giving each arm its own time under tension, so I'm able to concentrate on each arm individually, and I feel like I always get a better workout that way. I got 10 for both of them, so I'm gonna increase the weight, try to get down to about 8 or 9 reps, making sure I'm going plenty heavy. Try to go down to about 90 degrees in the elbow angle, and then at the top, come out all the way to flex the tricep, but we're never putting the tension onto the elbow. The dumbbell hammer curls, squeezing at the top all the way, controlling the weight on the way down, and then back up. That is it. We're We're completely finished, knocked out shoulders and arms. From Steve Cook here at the Bodybuilding.com gym. You can find this entire workout on the page below. Also, if you need to calculate your 1 rep max, you can also do that on Bodybuilding.com. Stay tuned for more videos like this. You can always follow me on Instagram and Twitter at stevecook_32. Also check out my website, Steve Cook Health, for more instructional videos. Till next time, we'll see you guys.